It's been 2 weeks. How's everything going?
It's going slow and steady, I guess. No big news on my part.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You're not going to rush a Walmart for Black Friday?
No, my wife's out doing that, so if my son or daughter comes down and needs something, I might need to bail early. But um, no, I don't get into that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Cool,
So
cool. I got most of my services deployed, except for courier payroll. And now I'm trying to figure out how to automate that process.
what's holding you up on the payroll one?
I think after so many days using a test account, it deletes data,
Hmm.
I think. And so, I mean, I just noticed it like maybe 2 days ago. Everything else is like automated now, like or deployed. And then I got seems because food seems like it's not likely or there's just going to be like one item for food. I need to finish building, testing, and deploy this. I guess it's a schedule to pickup service or something to that effect, in which you'll use the same logic for a courier to pick it up. It's
Hmm.
kind of in reverse. They pick it up. So I use the same logic because it's already in there. You run the same program. They pick it up from the customer location, and then they drop it off at whatever storage location. And this is for like rental equipment.
Hmm.
So that part hasn't really been flushed out. Yesterday, I wanted to work on it. I was too exhausted, man.
Too much turkey?
Oh no, this just I don't know my workload in regards to work. Kind of get drained. So
Yeah, I know that feeling. Your
yeah,
new job going all right still then?
it's straight.
Huh.
Um,
That's a change of pace.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just really used to focusing on like one or two things and not, you know, 10 or 12 things.
Hmm. Cool.
I wonder how Elon Musk does it. I wonder how presidents, like United States presidents, do it. I
They
mean,
have
obviously, I
huge
know it's
teams of people behind them.
yeah, it's delegation, but like they still have to fit a high level abstraction in their head with like 20, 24 to 36 different things.
I don't know. Or maybe not. I mean, you've got people that brief you, and when the thing comes up, and then you make a decision and move on to the next thing, right?
You think it's
I
that
don't know that.
simple?
Yeah, I don't. I can't imagine that it's. I think the responsibility is huge, but the actual amount of like keeping things floating around in your head is probably not very big because you have like a whole team of people around you trying to advise you and talk you through things and
Well,
brief you on what the facts are of this scenario. I mean,
you hope they brief you on what the facts are, and you assume that these people are experts and they don't get things wrong or there's not miscommunication down the pipeline. Um, I don't
yeah, but I
know.
I don't think. I mean, if you're doing stuff at a strategic level, I don't think you're generally thinking about independent like all these individual variables all over the place. That's more of a tactical thing. you're thinking of,
I think about independent variables.
and you think about the players, and then you set a strategy down, and then you hope it works out based on your thing, or you make decisions on stuff, but you're not. I don't think you have to maintain all of that stuff in your head. It would take a genius otherwise to, you know, have to do that. I mean, when you're down in coding and yeah, there's a bit more that you have to juggle potentially, but I don't think you have to at a high level. That's why they call it high level, right?
Yeah,
Everything you get's at a high level.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like just as you get status, there's also action items that more than likely you have to do for each status that you receive that may have some challenges in order to progress. And so like it ends up being a storm of action items
Yeah, but
in
maintained by
addition to
somebody else.
monitoring. Well,
You have
depend
an
it
assistant
dep
sitting there with a checkboard with all your action items listed down and say, "What's next?"
okay.
I'm sure that's how it is more than like the president having to remember that. Oh, I've got to go meet with this elementary school at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's all right. You have a elementary school thing at 5 o'clock, Mr. President. Okay, let's get going. Stop by the ice cream store first.
Uh,
You have a speech. Do you write it yourself? No, somebody else writes it. You just read it.
I've always felt that that was weird. You get elected as president. Hey, gambler, you get elected as president because probably the highest, most important value is your communication. But then you have someone else write out how you're going to communicate a message. Like that to me, that's an oxymoron. Like I
Yeah,
never
a
really
lot of
understood
presidents
that.
are good orators, not necessarily great
I used to
speech
think that
writers.
I used to think that JFK and I don't know, what is it, Franklin D. Roosevelt? I always get Franklin and Ted Roosevelt. I don't know who's who.
FDR is World War II, and Teddy Roosevelt is Rough Rider, turn of the century type one.
I always thought that some of their infamous speeches were sincerely them because they just had the gift of articulating uh, an idea because these people are supposed to be charismatic. And no, it's
Yeah,
not. It's someone that you don't even know the name of. Like the speeches of, we're going to put men on the moon, not because it's, what is it? Not because it's easy, but because it's hard. Like, okay, I mean, that's not a good example of, the best speech, but, you think it's coming from that president that you elected and it's their feelings. It's the way that they perceive, and this is the way that they're going to respond, through their vocal cords. And it's like, I don't know, I just felt like I was deceived. I didn't learn that until I was like a teenager. But
yeah. I guess some of them do write their own speeches, but I think in modern times,
I think Donald Trump writes his own speeches.
no, no, I don't think he did. Not the canned speech or the canned speeches. Um, I think he gave input into it, but he didn't write it. I can't imagine he's a very eloquent writer. And some of the speeches he gave were actually very good if you listen to the content. So, um, in fact, when he was on teleprompter and followed the speeches to exact, he came off very presidential, um, but he was a little bit more of a maverick when it came to going off, on ideas. And I think his speeches were always littered with things he would add in as he was thinking about them, and then he'd return to the actual speech. So, but Yeah, off the cuff, just listening to the crowd and reacting, he's actually a very good entertainer. So I think it would be kind of fun to go to a rally sometime and see him speak. I've watched a few, and they're usually just really funny. So
What do you think is the most challenging part of a startup? Is it putting the wheels in motion at the very beginning? Is it running into your first set of challenges and then you realize why other people aren't doing it and this is why it's hard and figuring things out at that stage? Is it getting close to, the minimal viable product and deploying it to a test environment and then working out the kinks? Or is it receiving feedback from the marketplace once it's deployed and figuring out which course you're going to take based on information trickling in or no information trickling in because it's been ignored so far?
um, I mean, I have no idea for sure, but I would assume the hardest part is to I'd assume that the hardest part is to you know persevere through the when things get difficult kind of thing that you said. Um, I mean, that's why not everyone is a startup person, because you hit roadblocks, and um, it's really uncomfortable to try to solve things you haven't hit before, or to do things that you need to do that you've never done before. Um, and getting beyond that, that's difficult. So,
Yeah,
um, but that encompasses things. I mean, all of the rest of the things too. Like if you're not getting feedback, that's a problem that now you need to solve, that you may not have any idea how to solve. So you have to potentially spend resources down tracks that will yield no results and stuff. So it's tough
Gambler
decisions.
says we're struggling to get feedback, information, what problems customers have. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I'm 90% done, and my motivation for completing it, I'm struggling to keep motivation. I mean, a huge part of it is just, you know, how I spend my time when I'm not working on it. So, I mean, thanks to you, I kind of increased my efforts in running. So now, like running 2 miles on the beach is it's not as difficult or challenging as it was like 2 months ago. So now I'm averaging like 3 miles on the beach, but then doing like a work day, which I don't get off until like 6:30 in the evening, East Coast. Like I'm just drained, man. And then I'm supposed to maintain a quota of another hour writing some code. Like I don't know. I know I'm complaining. I'm just kind of like burnt out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what most people run into.
The interesting thing, regardless of reality, like my belief system is like I'm probably like 6 months away from like making some decent passive income with this. But, but I still can't muster up the drive to accelerate to get it done. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I could bundle it and package it and sell it in probably a dozen different ways to monetize off of it.
or you could pay someone to do it for you, delegate it.
I have trust issues. The majority of, I mean, maybe you've been luckier, but the majority of shops that I've worked in has led me to not trust the way that developers write code when they're billing by the hour. Like, we get paid to automate things to make our jobs easier and to expedite the process. But like 90% of the developers that I've worked with, they don't automate anything. They don't write tools to expedite the process. They just drain the budget and they'll just keep going. Does it work yet? No. Does it work yet? No. Does it work yet? No. And they'll keep doing this manually intensive thing. And I don't want to pay for that. I want to pay for someone that, like, as a programmer, gets paid to automate. And I think the majority of folks out there, for what you pay them, is probably like 70% more than what you should be paying if they were
Oh,
disciplined and professional.
yeah. If you pay by the hour, couldn't you do uh, a value based proposition for?
I never even considered it.
I mean, you could
uh,
say, here's this fixed amount. If you take the bid, you'll get paid in increments based on milestones. The faster you do it, might come out to having huge amounts of money per hour for them. In fact, it incentivizes us getting it done quicker because time's money then. But if you pay by the hour, yeah, there's no incentive to finish. Incentive is
Gambler
to try to
says
go as long
you
as
can
possible.
you can trust me to get the done work. Or hold up, you can trust me to get no work done for free. Sign up now. Uh, I never, yeah, I never even considered because I'm just so used to the business model being by the hour, which no one ever questions um, the incentives being compromised using the paid by hour. Like, no one questions that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't understand it either. Um, but I mean, really, it's
I guess that's why
if
daily stand up is necessary.
yeah. But if you're high performing and and you could go off of value based pricing and you're good about vetting and understanding what the what how long it would take to actually accomplish something. Um, value based could be potentially a pretty big skew in how much you make per the work done. So, I mean, if this thing's worth $250,000 to you to get done, and you're willing to give me $250,000, and I just have to get it done as fast as possible, and I could get it done in a month, that's a pretty good return, you know.
Yeah, you just got to provide a statement of work and make
Yeah.
sure that there's certain deliverables that must be met in order to do the payout. Like, I'm not. No, let's assume that I had the money to pay
Mhm.
somebody. Like, if there's not a mature set of tests, automated tests, like, I'm not going to accept it. I'm not. And the majority of developers, like, they don't get that part.
Yeah. Did you buy a Lexus then?
No, I'll give you. I did get a brand new SUV, and it's very high tech. I'll give you three guesses.
A brand new SUV that's very high tech. Oh man. Um, Land Rover or Range Rover, one of the Rover family.
No, you have one more guess.
Oh, that was one guess to me. I couldn't remember if it's Range or Land for the SUVs, but um, so it's well, if you were looking at a Lexus, truck, you're probably not going with Lexus. I don't know, high tech, a Tesla, something. No,
I probably would have said the same thing. No, I got a Genesis GV70.
Genesis GV70.
Uh,
All new Genesis GV70. What the hell is this? Is Genesis a car brand?
it's the premium brand for Honda.
Oh,
Just like Lexus is the premium brand for Toyota, and Acura is the premium brand for Honda.
yeah, I hadn't realized that Hyundai had spun off a premium brand. Cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of. This is probably another part. I was exhausted with uh, doing the ceremonies with dealerships. They're professional scam artists, man.
Oh yeah,
And you have to filter through all the BS while still trying to be as polite and not disrespectful to them. Like they're there to get their money, but man, it's annoying going through that process, man. Like you don't want to deal with them because they're trying, like they're incentivized to overcharge you.
yeah,
Like they're incentivized to not communicate or not be transparent with what the car actually costs to take home. So they'll just fabricate all these additional fees because maybe you look like that dude that doesn't know any better. And like, yeah, 5 years ago I was.
yeah,
I don't even want to look at the fees that I probably didn't have to pay for my motorcycle in 2016 or my Ford Explorer in 2007. Like I wasn't hip to YouTube and researching the hell out of certain subject areas, like giving it like 16 hours of my life just researching video after video after video.
yeah. When I bought my truck this summer, it was I did a little bit of haggling on the price, and man, that's super uncomfortable.
Well, I got to go back up there today because I got them to include in my package tinting and acrylic coating. Coating. I learned that from YouTube in regards to the negotiation process. Like, get the cost down and then get them to include things. So, in addition to that, yeah, so I got to go. I got to be up there in 2.5 hours. In addition to that, I'm also getting a competition system put inside of it. Oh my God, that's costing me. It's probably going to cost me another $5,000 or $6,000. I was trying to put. I don't know if you're into car audio. I was I was trying to get 3 amps
Hmm.
into the vehicle. It's like 18 different speakers. Then I was going to add some Kicker Solidaric 12s, so that'll be 20 speakers in the vehicle. I'm like, so make a long story short, I've been researching the heck out of like configurations for the subwoofer enclosure, configurations for speakers, and all this stuff. This thing is just as stressful, man. I know they're all luxurious problems, first world problems, but thing is like this is my first time having a car in like 5 years because I don't like driving. And so like thought process is, well, if I get something nice, then I probably would like driving. Else I'll just ride my Can-Am all the time. And so I basically wanted to have something that's fast enough, luxurious enough, and has like a type of home theater entertainment system on tap. So if I'm on the strip and I just want to like stunt, then I got like 3,000 watts on tap. I could just shake the block. So I'm not going to shake the block all the time. Just see hoes out there. I'll just turn it up, watch them twerk. And that's it. So
Yeah, it looks like a real slick car. And like I said, I didn't realize that Hyundai had spun off Genesis into a brand, but
it is
it's
the
cool.
so the GV80 I think is the vehicle of the year.
Yeah, I
Like
like how the
and this is their first incarnation of their SUV models, and they just got really good reviews.
yeah, I like how the dash is all set up. That's really cool. Slick the whole console and the yeah, it's a pretty car.
You know, I wanted it in gray, but because of this whole supply chain mess, I end up getting it in black.
Hmm, cool stuff.
How's your table? Was it a table?
It was a table, yeah. It's still sitting in there, not touched.
You don't see it every time you go to the basement?
No, it's in my pole barn, so I
Okay.
rarely see it.
You
But
have a barn.
my pole shed, it's a 30 by 60, I think is what it is. Foot big metal box, basically.
You ever keep animals in there?
Uh, Occasionally we have cats go in there. But no, no, not really. It's not really
No.
a barn like that. It's more of a big ass garage. So it's I wonder if I might have pictures of it even. Kind of in disarray though, because we ripped out a room that someone had framed in, but we hadn't fully ripped it out yet. So, but
I still forgot about my anti-patterns conference talk. Like I got so many things on my plate, man.
yeah, maybe time to narrow it down, focus or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Every time I still try to think of stuff that I would like to do for like a hustle or a business or something. But man, I don't know. At this point, I don't know if I'll ever really take hold on something or not. Maybe I should try to play the lottery more.
Yeah, let me know how that works out. Or join the pyramid scheme and spend half your money on purchasing their products, and then you have to sell it to family members.
I guess
And
it's not bad as long as you're at the top of the pyramid, right?
uh, I don't have too much to add.
Yeah,
I'm
it's been a
exhausted, man. Yesterday, I didn't even do anything. I didn't even exercise. I didn't write code. I'm still exhausted.
yeah. I need to get back into running more here. I ran once on track. God, running on the treadmill sucks, man. And running outside sucks because it's cold.
You need to watch some David Goggin videos.
Yeah, I do get pumped up.
I mean, there's been a couple times where, like, I would say, what would David Goggins do? Then I'll put on my shoes and run through the rain and knock off a couple miles.
Yeah, I found that running in the cold, my calves uh, start to try to cramp up. I got to find something to cover them because it's not very pleasant if I try to do that. I was hoping that we did hit a sunny day. Dude, it's been windy as hell this last month too. Like I wouldn't be too bad running in just cold weather, but it's cold plus wind, so you get out of it, your face is all freaking covered. It's just red, and it's awful. Actually, maybe I just need to put a big TV in front of the treadmill that I got, and
Would it make a difference if you went to a large fitness club and ran their track, or is it still
yeah,
analogous to a
if we had
treadmill?
a no, a track would be better, but I don't think we have any indoor tracks in
I
town.
mean, it's still inside of a building. It's not like a high school like
Yeah,
football field track.
it's different than a treadmill though. Treadmills are it's just different. It's, I don't know.
You can't like put it in front of a television screen and watch a movie or something.
Yeah, I had my phone on there playing something, listen to it, but I think if I had a TV maybe where I could look forward instead of down, probably would be might not be bad. I could give that a try maybe. But I mean I've got a half marathon scheduled for April and then a full marathon in June. So if I don't get kicked into gear here in the next month and back into form, I'm gonna be hurting, I think, by that time that comes. So
I'm sorry, Gambler. I completely missed your comment. He doesn't have a car, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Mostly because he lives near Zurich, and borrowing a car when he needs it is easy enough. Well, the thing, I was getting by with Uber and Lyft, but then like this pandemic and this like enforcement of like not sharing a ride with other strangers, it just it now it's like I'm paying what a yellow taxi would charge me. And so like a round trip for like a maybe a 25-minute drive, initially like to the destination would cost me like maybe 20 to $25. But then their software is intelligent enough to know that I'm going back home. And so then that's when they gouge me and they'll charge me like $45, $50 to go back home. And so you do the math and you say, all right, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're a bachelor, you don't care much. But like if you like have a family or whatever, and the missus wants to like do things, you have to assume that out of a 3 day weekend, she probably wants to go out and do things like two days out of the 3 days. And so you're taking like a if a round trip is 65, $70. So let's just say a round trip is $65. That's $130 a weekend. $130 times what? 4 weekends in a month. I can't do the math, but can you do the math? Is that $520? I wonder how good my math is. Hold up.
it's expensive, anyways.
I said 130 times four. Yeah, yeah, it's 520. I didn't know I could actually do math like that. I didn't. Then
I can't.
it makes you reconsider. Do I really want to keep relying on Uber and only go to like one destination per day, or like each time I go out, or is it just time for me to have my own vehicle? But then, like at least with Uber, you're not doing like maintenance costs. You're not paying for car insurance. But to me, like now it's now that like there's just other dependencies involved or other factors involved. I just had to get a vehicle, man.
And just think now you
Trade
can
in my
drive
bachelor
Lyft.
card.
Now you can drive Lyft and Uber.
Yeah, I want to pick him up in a GV70
You get
with
a
the
premium.
$6,000 audio system, and they're going to pay me $25 for a 25-minute ride.
Yeah, like we you couldn't survive without a car where I am. Everything's sprawled out. Um, there's not really Lyft there is Lyft and Uber. Well, Lyft for sure. occasionally on nights where there's like events going on and people might be drinking and stuff, where there's demand for it. But like it's not like I think people are like, oh, why in the U.S. do people have so many cars when they could just ride the rail and stuff? And it's like, no, that's not that's not that wouldn't work here. Like we couldn't spend that much on infrastructure in the town that I live in.
Yeah, Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland has like public transportation. I mean, they have buses, but if
Yeah,
you wanted to run errands on the bus, it's your whole day would be destroyed. Like
yeah,
it would because you'll just be waiting at bus stops to transfer to a different bus, and like the average time would probably be like 45 minutes. And when I was driving through Orlando like a month ago, I think I was. I mean, I know I understand there's like suburbs or whatever, but like I remember I was driving through Kissimmee or however you pronounce that name, and like there's no pedestrians on the sidewalk. Everything is just cars. And I mean, it's a populated area. You know that people live there because they have plazas all over the place. But you don't see pedestrians just walking. It's just it's just cars, man. Miami's different. You see people all over the streets. Um, so and we have trolleys that are free.
yeah. We don't have any of that. I mean, we have a bus, I guess, but it's more of like a if you set something up to schedule to go on it. But I don't, I don't know. I got a truck, so
Yeah,
and in the
I don't.
wintertime, you kind of that's another thing with like cars versus trucks. Like in the wintertime here, having a truck is really nice um, to not get stuck in snow piles.
Yes, Gambler. Miami is. I would argue Miami is built for people. I mean, it's built for people and cars. But I mean, you don't. If you're a bachelor, you don't need a car in Miami. Because I mean, unless you're just willing to, unless you have a budget for a valet, you have valet on your payroll. Like you spend like another half an hour trying to find a parking spot just to go to whatever place you want to go to. So like if we're talking about like metropolitan, like Miami, like whether you're in Miami Beach or you're in downtown or you're in Brickell, like you spend so much time trying to park. So yeah, you don't need a car for that. But I don't know if you want to like go to the zoo or go to I guess the alligator farm is a zoo, or you want to go to the Everglades, or you want to see what's up in Fort Lauderdale, which is like maybe 40 minutes away. You need a well, if you're not alone, you need a car. Else, I would say if you're a bachelor, just get a have a motorcycle. You're good. You don't need anything. You can park it anywhere. You rarely pay for parking. You park it anywhere. Like park it in alleys. You park it anywhere. That's it. Oh, I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, I don't really have much else either. I think the company I work for's Black Friday thing is kind of kicked off here, so
You're working
nothing.
today?
Yeah, I work today. It's we're a marketplace, so there's Black Friday's a big day, so it's I don't think I'll be working hard, but mostly just here to monitor things, and if something goes wrong, we can jump in. But
What do you guys sell?
we're a marketplace for like collectible card games, so like Magic the Gathering,
What are the
Pokemon.
odds that you get a job doing that as I'm looking at your background?
Yeah. Which is funny. I
Okay.
don't actually play any collectible card games, so but I'm kind of in that with my brother-in-law's shop is kind of around those kinds of things too. So not quite the same, but gets into any sort of collectibles or whatever. I think we're trying to broaden our market. So here soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, we service a lot of small game stores that depend on today for big revenues. So we have a big kickback sale going on. So
All right. Well, it's been real. I don't. I gotta figure out how to. I'm so tired, man. I think something's wrong with me medically. All right. Well, we'll catch up. So, see ya. Thanks.
see ya. Yep.
See you, Gambler.
Oh, actually, one thing I will be after this week. Finally, I'll be back having coffee again. So
Why?
because I wanted to skip caffeine for a month and I'd continue with it if I felt any sort of like gain whatsoever. But no,
You
there's
think? And it's a sincere question. You think that stopping for a month, everything's going to leave your system?
yeah, yeah. After at least a couple weeks, I figured everything would even out, which it has. I'm not. The first 2 weeks, I was tired as hell all the time. It's not as bad right now, but like, there's no sort of like, oh, I'm waking up so refreshed and I'm sleeping for no. That is all
I'm
bull. It's perfect.
maybe coffee is different, but some things take a lot longer than a month to leave your system. And when I say system, I'm talking about brain, like the chemicals in the brain too. I would know.
Yeah.
So,
I'm hoping that what I'll see is when I start back up, I'm hoping then I'll get an effect and then I can gauge whether that's a positive or negative. But so far, there's been no positive gain by eliminating caffeine. So
okay.
yeah, that's just what it is. I'll be back on coffee next week. This 1 month, and then
Why?
like out. Well, you try it for a month, and if
If you don't feel anything, then why go back to it?
no, I don't feel well. I feel more tired just generally, actually,
Oh,
overall. Um, I haven't had a positive benefit. That doesn't mean I haven't had a negative, and the negative has been I'm just tired more. Like, I can't. There's no way. It's hard to get through those evening slumps. Um,
so
so
what are the negative or what are the consequences of coffee?
um, really, I don't know that there's anything bad about moderate coffee or caffeine. I think it's actually, if I understand, it's there's positive benefits that have been found, but I don't know what the negatives are. Um, I know that there perhaps if you overdo it, the effect on your sleep cycle might be bad. Um, but I don't think that that's been problematic for me. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, I quit coffee and my life changed forever," and after a month, it's like, "Oh no." But maybe going back on coffee, I'll notice that I can't sleep or something, and then I'll be like, "Well, why did I do that?"
Certainly, if you overdo it, the sleep cycle will suffer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I sleep like crap, man.
yeah,
All right, well, it's been real.
yep,
Maybe I'll figure out. Yeah, maybe I'll and check up on my Obamacare. I keep getting text messages and emails. I think enrollment ends mid-December, so I'm about
okay.
to do that. All right, see
All
ya.
right, see you. Bye.
See you, Gambler. You can get heartbeat issues with too much caffeine. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
out.